Oh, I recognize that music. He's back. It's Mike Emanuel time. Fox News chief D.C. correspondent. He's been off for a couple of weeks. Mike, welcome back to the Big 89. How are you, sir?
John, thrilled to be back. Thank you for having me.
Tell everybody where you took your family for this extra long vacation.
We went to the Greek islands, started in Athens, visited family on both sides, then went to an island we'd never been to before called Milos. My son picked it out. It is on top of a volcano, and it is quite spectacular. And then we went to Mykonos, which is a party island, and so my teenage kids love that. And then the wife and I ended up at a wedding, a big fat Greek wedding, Greek-American wedding, in Nafplion, which is like a port city. All of these places were spectacular. We had the time of our lives.
Are all the buildings bright white?
Pretty much. There's a lot of white. There's no doubt about it. Representing similar to the ruins, and if you've seen postcards of places like Mykonos or Santorini, there's a whole lot of white. You're absolutely right.
How was the food?
Tremendous. Produce, fresh tomatoes, the olive oil, fresh fish, watermelon. It seems like they just picked it like 5 minutes ago and it's on your plate, and it's just tremendous.
All right, Mike Emanuel will be in the anchor chair tomorrow at high noon Central, also your regular Sunday high noon Central spot. Trump's new judge is a tough January 6th sentencer. She's had a lot of these defendants in front of her. She's been assigned this case, I guess, randomly through some sort of lottery system. But she has a history with Trump. How so?
Yeah, so U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, a former assistant public defender nominated to the bench by President Obama, she's been throwing the book at these January 6 defendants. The Justice Department will come forward and say, hey, here's our recommendation, 6 months in prison or a year or whatever it is. And she's had a reputation for throwing more at these people. And so certainly something that has to be alarming for the Trump legal team, in addition to the fact that Washington, D.C. is not particularly Trump-friendly in terms of jurors. And so, can you get one Trump fan on the jury? Maybe. But, like downtown Chicago or New York City, Manhattan, there are not a lot of Trump fans in the heart of the city. So lots for his legal team to be concerned about. Well,
the jurors aren't supposed to be fans either way. They're supposed to be unbiased, Correct. But good luck with that. I understand that problem. I think the other case they put down in Florida,
yep.
And the document case, I forgot where, but not too far from where my in-laws live. But
yep.
Anyway, so I get that. But look, timetable with all these pie plates on sticks. I'm talking about all the lawsuits that are happening right now, the charges, the indictments, and then one to come in Georgia. Yeah. Nothing's going to happen until after the next election, I don't think, on any of these cases. What do you think?
Well, I think they're trying to get some of them to go forward before the election, perhaps the one in D.C., because that one, looks at his behavior while in office. The documents thing is stuff that he did after leaving office. The Georgia thing, I guess, could be considered while he was in office. But the Stormy Daniels thing, paying her in Manhattan, that one seems to be kind of backburnery of all of them. And so I think there is a push to see if we can get the Washington, D.C. one to trial before the election. But we'll see. Obviously, the court system's not known for speed in most cases, but obviously the whole world's watching these cases.
And that's obviously, I think, maybe not obviously, but my conjecture, that's why Jack Smith narrowed this to Donald Trump, did not include insurrection or really anything to do with inciting a riot, any of that, just basically on the fake elector scheme, allegedly. And we know who the five of the six are, unindicted co-conspirators. And you don't have to respond to this because you're a newsman. I think number 6 is Steve Bannon. On to question number 2. Joe Biden has served as the tiebreaker with the defense secretary in where we're going to place Space Command. Why Colorado over Alabama? I think I know the answer to this. Go ahead.
Well, I think Colorado's a purple state. Alabama's a red state. Simple as that. I think, there's no question that Colorado will be in play for this election and future elections. Alabama, on a good day, I don't think Joe Biden thinks he has a chance of winning. And so, if you just want to look at pure 2024 politics, Colorado is something they desperately want. Alabama, I think, is more of a pipe dream.
Well, that's similar to NASA being located in Houston, Texas.
Yep.
Due to the Senate Majority Leader, a guy named Lyndon Johnson.
Exactly right. Right.
VP Harris has rejected DeSantis' offer to debate Florida's new Black History Standards. I think this is a missed opportunity. Did the White House quash this?
Yes. And all indications are, one, they don't have tremendous confidence in her, despite whatever you hear from people at the White House spinning. Make no mistake about it, they don't have a whole lot of confidence in her. And the other thing is it would elevate DeSantis. And if he were to debate her and, really give her a good lesson in political debate, that elevates him and makes the White House look weak. And so I think they looked at it and said, there's not much to gain here and potentially plenty to lose.
But if I was her chief of staff, I'd say, look, we need to cut you. We need to get you some sunlight here. You're just flailing about here. Go down, take DeSantis on. It could be a great opportunity. I wonder if she pushed back saying, I want to do this. And the White House said, we're going to say no.
Yeah, I didn't get that far to know for sure how much pushback there may have been. But, I think you're absolutely right. Her chief of staff would want to do something like that to give her an opportunity. You never know how long the president may serve. If at some point, and I'm not wishing it on him, but if at some point health becomes an issue, you want people to have confidence in your vice president that she could serve. I mean, that's the whole point of having a vice president, really. So, it seems like it would have been a golden opportunity potentially if she were ready for it. But my bet is that the highest levels of the White House did not think she was ready for it and potentially could launch DeSantis into, some serious momentum.
Yeah. And the Democrats want Trump as the nominee. That's pretty fair knowledge, right?
Absolutely, because that's a big case that Biden's making for why he should run again, because he says, I beat Trump. And that's the end of the story. And so, even though there are a lot of polls suggesting that Democrats may not be that into him, and or serious questions about age and stamina and all that stuff, all he can say in response, and it's true, is that I won the last time, and so why not again? And so that's their big argument. And, without that, I think there are a lot of people saying, well, they should go younger and fresh ideas and a new voice.
Why is the Biden administration and the State Department unwilling to call the Niger coup a coup?
Probably because they haven't evacuated the embassy staff at this point, because if you call it a coup, then, the AP correspondent and people from our network and others say, well, why the hell aren't you getting the Americans out of there? And I think it may be as slow as, the bureaucracy moves pretty darn slowly. And so if you don't call it a coup, then maybe you buy yourself a little more time to evacuate folks. And then as you're evacuating folks, you can say, oh, yeah, it's a coup. But I think there's no question about it. It is a coup, and it's dangerous. And so hopefully they will get the Americans out of there sooner than later.
Mike Emanuel's the chief Fox News chief Washington correspondent. He'll be in the anchor chair tomorrow at high noon. Then on Sunday, his regular stint in the anchor chair, high noon on Sunday. As a scratch golfer, final question. How much golf did you play in Greece? Any?
I did not. I have played in Greece before, but I did not this time. We were not in places that had courses. If you go, John, you could play in Crete. There's a great resort called Costa Navarino, so you could play there. But we were not in either of those places, so I did not play this time.
In your opinion, what's more impressive, a hole-in-one or an eagle?
I think an eagle, because I think a hole-in-one, while I have not done it, I've come close a number of times. I think you can get lucky with one swing, but I think an eagle suggests that you really put together some good several shots, and so I think that's pretty darn impressive. What about you?
As a reporter, aren't you wondering why I asked you this question?
What did you do?
Eagle.
Attaboy.
Which I agree with you. Now, in my case, it's 2 lucky shots, not 2 good shots. But a short par 4, dogleg over the creek, and then dogleg left. This happened about 10 days ago. And meant to tell you right away, but I couldn't find you in Greece. And hit a beautiful drive over a big tall tree. So just like DeChambeau, I cut that dogleg right out of there.
Look at you.
And hit that thing down about, 50 yards short of the green, and then took out my wedge. 1-2 bounce, boom, into the cup. And thank goodness somebody witnessed it.
That's tremendous. Well done. I'm so proud of you.
How many eagles do you have in your bag?
Not many. Occasionally get the birdie, but, lots of pars. I don't think I've ever had an eagle, so well done, brother.
The man I was playing with a couple guys. One guy, Tom, in particular, said, take that ball out of circulation and put it up on the mantle, which I said, well, why should I do that? I'm going to be getting at least a dozen hole-in-ones and a dozen eagles, in the future. Why do I want to save every one of these balls?
Next hole, I'm getting an eagle, so let's go.
Thank you. Have a terrific day. We'll watch tomorrow at high noon. Certainly lots to cover in D.C. Tomorrow, oh, boy. It'll be Motorcade Central tomorrow, won't it?
Yes, indeed. Glad I'm not driving around during the day.
Do you guys share helicopters? I mean, the cable news network, so you don't have to put up everybody has to have their own helicopter, following in New Jersey, then another one in D.C., and then another one back to the airport, another one back in New Jersey. At least can you guys pool a helicopter?
I think there is pooling of those kind of resources at times, and every once in a while we say, does our affiliate have a camera up in the bird? If they do, let's use it. So there you go.
All right, thanks, Mike. Have a great day.
Thanks, brother.